Alrighty, here we are, unfortunately screaming towards the end of Season 2 of The Musketeers. Last episode, as you saw, I just loved it. That one really just has a special place in my heart. It's a vibe thing in the end, isn't it? I mean, I enjoyed some of the plot elements in that episode, but ultimately your favourite episodes are really just a vibe thing. I'm just loving what's in the stew this season. I mean, Season 1, like, the thing is, Season 1 was so good, and probably when I go back and rewatch it at some point, I'm gonna love it even more, probably. But I do think it kind of took Season 1 for me to really start to love these characters, and by the end of Season 1, I loved them. So Season 2, just, it benefits from the fact that I already loved these characters. So as much as I'm reluctant to watch this episode, because then I will have one less episode of The Musketeers that I haven't seen before, I want to watch it, so let's watch it. What a vista. Escort mission? Some cargo? Brilliantly overcast looking day. Hello. With a beautiful melody.
We'll be in Paris within the hour, madame.
I haven't seen the king since we were children.
He's barely changed.
Tell me, monsieur, do you know anything of Sweden?
It snows and is very cold.
It will be my home soon. I wonder if I shall ever see the warm sun of Italy again.
Someone's here. Oh, a whole bunch of people are here. Effective ambush. Why did they stop right here, though? That's sus. Lots of manly yelling while they kill people. Love to see it. Bloody. I'm always slightly surprised to see blood in this show because it's one of the shows that it walks that line, right? It doesn't want to be too violent, but they actually don't seem worried to have some blood. Spanish.
This ambush was no coincidence.
No, it was not. Alright. Seems we have this princess. Hasn't seen the king in a long time. Princess of Italy? I'm not quite sure. But yeah, she said she was living in Italy, right? But heading off to Sweden. She has an offsider too. There's always an offsider in these stories. And yeah, the princess has that guy who was like the driver or something, and he just gave a slightly suspicious look at one point.
Spain was never going to stand idly by in the face of an alliance between Sweden and France. You mean the princess might still be in danger?
There's no need for alarm. We're in Paris now. She'll be perfectly safe.
If any harm should come to her...
Don't worry. You're both under our protection now.
He's a real warrior.
King's cousin, Princess Louise of Mantua, is betrothed to the Swedish crown prince.
King's cousin.
It's a record.
Looks like he was just wearing jeans for a second there.
The council betrayed me. You betrayed me.
Well, the cardinal felt that you were perhaps not entirely of sound mind.
Really drew that out.
A strengthened alliance between France and Sweden is vital.
Unfortunately, plans have changed.
Clearly. Oh, nasty. Rochefort getting a bit of revenge after, all his time in prison.
Amen.
Princess Louise.
I pray my marriage will be happy.
Happiness is a selfish desire. You must pray to do your duty.
Oh. Aiming at her or him? I mean, we'd assume her. Oh. Probably aiming at her, but that is an unfortunate miss. Oh my word, straight in the neck as well. Yeah, who wants to kill her so much? I mean, Rochefort doesn't want her marriage to go ahead for some reason. Effective assassin.
Good vantage point. Well concealed and all.
I mean, sorry, I say effective assassin. They totally stuffed up, but they got away.
I knew what he was doing. This was planned well in advance.
Outstanding work, Musketeers! A man of God slain under your very noses.
He's probably the one who sent the assassin, as far as we know. So. Super rich. The roles reversed. She's the one praying for him. All of a sudden.
Someone is determined to stop this marriage.
Who could that be, Rochefort? Is he identifying that is
Princess cannot
from the Queen?
There are perhaps half a dozen armourers left in Paris with the necessary skills.
But only one who'd consider hiring them out to the Spanish.
Boucher.
Of course. Boucher.
Survivor of the siege of La Rochelle.
Sire?
Go away! I want to be alone.
The king is not receiving visitors. He's plagued with fears.
Fears of...
The king will listen to you.
If you say so, then yes. Rochefort snaps into action.
Your Majesty, 'tis I, Rochefort.
King will listen to Rochefort immediately. Look at that. What's the king upset about? It's not because he had to send Milady de Winter away. Or the events of last episode got him down.
The king is unwell.
That would get me down.
He will be himself again soon.
We shall see.
I want Milady out of my palace, and I don't want to receive Princess Louise. You can do it.
I've sent a message to my husband. I have to tell him now about us.
Well, then I should be with you.
I have to do this alone.
It's really happening.
That much.
If you need anything, you know where I am.
With the beautiful Princess Louise. Should I be jealous?
She's engaged to be married.
I am married. That didn't stop you.
Cute. She's gonna tell Mustache all about it. Well, that's gonna go well.
I will give you one last chance.
He's basically playing the king already, isn't he?
Aramis wears a jeweled crucifix. Bring it to me.
This is nothing good. I know that.
I received your message.
Nice outfit.
Finally done your duty and made my name known to the king.
Well, he's not gonna like this. His scowl is so funny.
Do not test my patience.
I've made a decision. D'Artagnan and I, we're going to build a life together.
Yay, yay, yay. Bloody hell.
Be back home today.
That was a nasty slap, man.
I shall return later and drag you there myself.
I was expecting that to go badly, but that was probably worse than I expected. I thought he was gonna cry and plead or something. Eesh.
You don't want to be with me anymore, do you?
You have too much to lose, and I'm not the man to make you happy. Why don't we just wish each other luck and go our separate ways? You're not upset.
Oh, she's upset.
These things shouldn't be taken too seriously. Hold me one last time.
Smooth, she got it. Things are unraveling very quickly. All that happiness and joy we ended the last episode with, it was just because we were out of town, wasn't it? Back home here.
What happened? Who did this to you? Tell me the truth. Tell me the truth.
My husband. I told him.
I'll kill him.
No, D'Artagnan, no, he knows he's lost me. That's
He hurt you. He hurt you. He hurt you.
No. He can never hurt me again.
What's the point in her seeing this? Huh? Just... I feel like my emotions are being messed with. That's just the Musketeers for you, isn't it?
You're in love with her.
What's this?
And she is with you. I can tell.
What about your husband-to-be? Is he a good man?
I have no idea.
You've not met?
We meet for the first time when I get to Sweden.
Scary.
It would be nice to love as one chooses. Constance is a lucky woman.
With him?
I envy her finding a man like you.
She seems quite nice and level-headed. I'm hoping that is the truth.
Rochefort treats me like his errand boy now. I'm to fetch the Queen's gift.
Impressive whistle.
Don't let him humiliate you.
The regiment will need a new captain soon. I could recommend you.
It'd be good. Poor Treville.
I'm finished here. It's time you all accepted that.
Yeah, since his retirement, he hasn't had a single episode of rest.
You don't find craftsmanship like this every day.
I'm sure the Archbishop was very appreciative.
What are you talking about? Where did you find this bolt?
In the Archbishop's throat.
All my weapons were confiscated and sent to a new home. That's where this has come from.
What new home?
The Cardinal sent them all to the Red Guard Armory.
All right, so maybe it is the simplest answer, and it's Rochefort.
Or the killer was a member of the Red Guard.
I have more than 500 guards under my command, unless you've killed any in a barroom brawl today.
My Lady de Winter.
What's she up to?
Search your bag.
Leaving?
These were personal gifts from His Majesty.
You leave, carrying only what you arrived with.
You would be wise not to make an enemy of me.
Is that a threat?
Merely an observation.
If I ever see you in this palace again, I'll have you executed.
It's fun to see those two butt heads. Yeah, Milady de Winter's at a low point, but that's when she's dangerous, right?
This is everything I have. Take it and leave Paris.
First, you threatened to kill me, and now it's bribery.
A gift.
Bribery.
There is a difference.
You think I'll accept your charity?
If you have any sense.
Yeah. She won't, but it would be the sensible thing to do.
I'm not finished yet. Not by any measure.
She's got too much invested in succeeding in this place, however she can. I'm still really nervous about why they let Princess Louise find out about D'Artagnan and Constance earlier. That feels like such a loaded plot point. It's gone. Yes. That's loaded as well. I mean, it's all loaded. It's all leading nowhere good. Huh. He's following Treville, and Lady de Winter's following him. No, wait. And someone else is here. Oh, no, sorry. That's him pointing the gun. At Treville! She just let it happen. Oh my god, he's... Oh, man. No. And Treville had that conversation about Athos being a good leader, so that's... weren't enough bad things happening.
It's Captain Treville. He's been shot.
It really looked bad. It looked bad. But he was shot while doing this job that Rochefort wanted him to do, of course.
What was he doing there? Rochefort's errand. Collecting the king's gifts.
Yeah.
Sure, I know.
But with Princess Louise's offsider. Princess Louise's offsider heard...
Send for LeMay.
Them talking about D'Artagnan and Constance. I'm getting ahead of myself.
No harm will come to you. You have my word.
Yeah, what's his game? He's in league with Rochefort, I suppose. Many are. This is all just stuff we knew
She told me
would have to... would happen eventually. And we've been dreading it for so long.
Queen, don't you? You think there is a connection between her and Aramis?
What do you know of that?
Nothing for certain.
Just some looks. Don't mention the baby. Don't mention the baby.
The way he looks at her.
Yes.
The way he should have looked at me, but never did.
Watch them every second. And tell me what you discover.
I beg you, please, leave me be now.
It's far too late for that, Marguerite.
This is very sad and tragic. I'm only smiling because I just love the way it's done. That sweeping, tragic soundtrack underscoring it. Our doctor friend.
His uniform must have blunted the shot's impact. He's lucky.
Oh.
I have some practice with musket wounds.
I bow to your superior experience.
It's what we preach.
Again, he's just a lovely doctor.
To assist him.
Dr. LeMay.
Madame Bonacieux's help will be invaluable. She's already saved one life I might have lost. I find that if I bathe my instruments in boiling water first, my patients have a much greater chance of fighting off.
He's a good doctor as well.
I have no idea why. I believe it is a blessing from God.
He's stumbled across scientific truths that he needs to disinfect his equipment. Very cool. Love him as a recurring character. With all this help, Treville might make it out of this, not without a bunch of stupid pain, though. Better out than in. Poor dude. Should just be resting. Taking lovely days off. But nope, he's doing hard work every episode and getting shot.
There is fluid in his lung. We have to drain it.
He's selling the pain. I don't like it. So interested what Milady de Winter's going to do, having seen who the shooter was. I'm usually pretty queasy about this stuff, but just yesterday I watched The Substance Ooh, lovely score. And if you know anything about the movie The Substance, yeah, all my queasiness is gone for now. I've been well desensitized.
Your captain should make a speedy recovery now.
Nicely done. It's good to see his vulnerability.
He saved his life.
It was a team effort. But yes, I believe we did.
Why are we giving Constance another possible love interest, though? We don't need to complicate Constance's situation any more than it already is complicated. Rochefort's done a pretty good job so far of sabotaging this whole Swedish wedding. What's in there? Violin? Play us a tune, Rochefort.
This isn't the woman we're guarding at the palace.
No wonder they stopped Treville delivering the picture. But if she isn't Princess Louise, then who is she?
Who is she?
The Archbishop was always the target. And the fake Louise must have been in on the plan, but why assassinate a man of God?
The Archbishop wasn't just a priest. He was also a senior member of the King's Council.
So is Chancellor Dupre. He's on his way to the Louvre for the council meeting. He thinks he's safe there.
That's good. The Archbishop was the target after all. Is this Rochefort taking out the King's friends, basically? Those loyal to the King, those powerful and loyal to the King. But who's she?
My congratulations. I had to stop myself laughing out loud the way you had the Musketeers fawning all over you.
I was convincing, wasn't I?
A princess to the man.
I was so wanted her to be a friend.
Chancellor will enter the palace by the west gate. You'll have all the time you need.
Please tell my wife I've come to collect her. And tell her to hurry.
We have hardly any
Make her
friends.
apologies to the Queen later.
Wait in here.
That sucks. I liked her. Working with Rochefort. Corruption at an all-time high around here. Musketeers got their work cut out for them.
You are Constance's husband.
I am Bonacieux, the finest cloth merchant in Paris.
Then it's you I'm looking for. She asked me to tell you she will meet you at home.
She did?
She said you were most commanding with her this morning.
Then I shall go.
Put out with his life, the little weasel.
Constance is in love with D'Artagnan. If I wasn't so busy, I'd do her the favour of cutting her husband's throat.
Yeah, suspected these two were...
You won't miss.
Had something going, but...
You never miss.
Thought she was the real Princess Louise. And that melody was beautiful at the start. Now it does have a bit of evil in it. Love a nice, straightforward little set piece like this. An assassination. But, oh.
I forgot my hat.
Mustache is shot.
Just like wife beaters.
That's so good. I love that. Little things going wrong along the way. It's like a chain reaction, how all of this spirals out of control. Yeah, she's a bit nervous now.
Get back inside! Take cover!
The assassin's in the palace!
Oh, close one. Just in time. Two major characters shot this episode. D'Artagnan's on the case. So the intention of hers earlier on was always to stumble to make that assassination of the Archbishop look real, yeah? Just remembered that we haven't...
I am defeated.
Don't choose die. Ugh. For what? I was saying, I just remembered that we still haven't learnt anything more about Porthos's backstory that was teased so long ago. They're drawing that out a little bit.
I'm afraid the real Princess Louise never even made it out of Lombardy.
You mean you killed her?
But on the positive side, I saved her from a dreadful marriage.
So she's against women beating, but not necessarily women assassinating.
I do so love a happy ending.
Whoever you are, this is over.
Nice.
You must know that.
Wow. Caging the villain. I love how her character changed when she revealed herself. Her personality is so different since she stopped playing the princess.
No, help me.
true test of D'Artagnan.
Just breathe. This is on your conscience. You'll never be happy.
He's not making it easy to save you.
You're doomed. I curse you both.
I curse you both. Come on, man. Mustache is dead? I don't want him to be gone. I know. He's horrible, but he was good fun, in a way. Didn't like him slapping Constance, though. He deserved death this episode for that, didn't he?
Why didn't they look at me? Tell me. Whose blood is this?
Will she believe him when he says he had nothing to do with it? I hope so. So I'm still coming to terms with the fact that the princess has been dead the whole time, so I was hoping we could save this Swedish marriage, for what it's worth, but just because Rochefort was against it. But no, there was no hope in doing that.
As you know who I am, you also know what I'm capable of. Who hired you? Rochefort. He supplied the weaponry and identified the targets. He's trying to get his way to the top. He's determined to remove any rival for the king's trust and affection. Now let me go. I think it's best that we shut your mouth for good.
Milady de Winter back at her old ways, dealing in information and murder. Naive of me to hope Milady de Winter might team up with the Musketeers a little bit. All right, let's chat. Come on, here we go. You might die, Treville. Better tell secrets.
I thought I was going to die. I realized I didn't want to leave this world with any secrets. My conscience.
Give me a little time to regain my strength, and I will tell you everything you want to know. I can wait.
You have handled this matter with great skill, Rochefort. I'm impressed. Post of First Minister. I want you to fill it.
This is too great an honor, Your Majesty.
He rises and rises up the ranks. Oh dear. He's got a lot of power now, doesn't he? Amazing. Wow. Couldn't have ended that episode on a more clear note. Rochefort rises again. I mean, the other episode, a few episodes ago, was the one where I said this is the one where Rochefort's making moves, starting his ascension. This one was basically part 2 of the ascension, I would say. From the perspective of the heroes, it was things falling apart in well, actually, from the perspective of me, the audience, this was the episode where things fell apart. But our heroes don't quite know how much they've fallen apart. Unfortunately, for now, that information is reserved for us, the viewer, in terms of how much trouble Aramis and the Queen are in, how messy things are for Constance and D'Artagnan, how many nefarious things people like Rochefort and Milady de Winter are up to. Only we know that. The heroes did not see a lot of that in this episode. They just managed to save the day, mostly, yet again. But Rochefort, despite having some of his plans, his nefarious plots in this episode spoiled by the Musketeers, has just failed upwards, as they say, risen again, because the bloody king is not keeping an eye on what's really going on. Being a bit of a useless king lately, honestly. I remember respecting him so much in season 1 because he genuinely often seemed like a good king. He tried to be fair, and he was quite good at generally actually not being tricked by people. He was often suspicious of the cardinal. He'd be like, "Cardinal, are you lying to me this time?" So it is sad to see him fall to this state where he's walled himself off and he's just trusting Rochefort. It's terrible. And yeah, Rochefort seems to have risen to basically the top of the ranks, which bodes well for the final 3 episodes of the season, doesn't it? If he was bold enough before rising to this level of power to hire all these assassins to do all these, to kill off all these people close to the king, then what is he going to feel comfortable doing when he's got this second ring on his finger? I dread to think. Look, we've got some losses in this episode. I thought for a moment that we might genuinely lose Treville. The way they played that assassination scene, I wouldn't have been surprised if this was Treville's last episode. But no, we get to keep him a little bit longer at least. But we did lose Mustache. How about that? Constance's husband, killed by that assassin, the not Princess Louise. I think Sophia was her name. D'Artagnan was there, sort of had the choice to make. Well, the choice was taken away from him. They had their cake and ate it too with that scene, because D'Artagnan comes in. We get to see him wrestle over the choice. Do I save him or not? A painful choice in the context. And ultimately, because he's D'Artagnan, because he's like such an altruistic hero, he decides to try and help Mustache. But then Mustache is hurling all this abuse at him, saying, I curse you and Constance forever, you bloody fools. And then the choice to save him seems to be taken away from D'Artagnan anyway. The Mustache is gone. He just dies. And then unfortunately dies in his hands there, and D'Artagnan has blood on his hands, and who knows how Constance will take this. We didn't get to see the real outcome of that in this episode, so I'm sure we'll get the fallout next time. Oh, it was a real things fall apart episode, and honestly quite painful to watch in a really enjoyable way, if that makes any sense at all. Yeah, things are certainly building. I can feel the rising energy towards our last few episodes here. So I'm beyond keen to get into them. Thanks for sharing your passion with me. Till the next time, Tomity out.